Welcome to Setting Smart Goals. Setting Smart Goals was developed by Dyad Consulting, written by Dale Durkis. Setting Smart Goals course objectives include understanding setting SMART goals, reviewing goal setting theory, examining the SMART criterion, learning the 5 principles of goal setting, and considering the application to your business and personal goals. Goal setting is a powerful way of motivating people and of motivating yourself. The value of goal setting is so well recognized that entire management systems, like management by objectives, have goal setting basics incorporated within them. In fact, goal setting theory is generally accepted as the most valid and useful motivation theories in industrial and organizational psychology, human resource management, and organizational behavior. In fact, most of the Fortune 500 companies have setting goals as an important part of their strategic plan. Many successful business-savvy managers and leaders find the following mnemonic quite useful. SMART, that is, specific, measurable, attainable or achievable, relevant, and time-framed. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-framed. SMART. In his 1968 article, quote, Toward a Theory of Task Motivation and Incentives, unquote, Dr. Edwin Locke stated that employees were motivated by clear goals and appropriate feedback. Locke went on to say that working toward a goal provided a major source of motivation to actually reach the goal, which in turn improved performance. This information does not seem revolutionary to us some 40 years later. However, this shows the impact his theory has had on professional and personal performance. Locke's research showed that there was a relationship between how difficult and specific goal was and people's performance of a task. He found that specific and difficult or challenging goals led to better task performance than vague or easy goals. Telling someone to try hard or do your best is less effective than try to get more than 80% correct or concentrate on beating your best time. Hard goals are more motivating than easy goals because it's much more of an accomplishment to achieve something that you have to work for. Salespeople, especially car salespeople, use this concept all the time. That's why you can't as easily escape a car dealership in 5 or 10 minutes. They keep you there, make you work for it, and it makes you more motivated to actually buy. Think about that. A few years after Locke published his article, another researcher, Dr. Gary Latham, studied the effect of goal setting in the workplace too. His results supported exactly what Locke had found, and the inseparable link between goal setting and workplace performance was formed. In 1990, Locke and Latham published their seminal work, A Theory of Goal Setting and Task Performance. In this book, they reinforced the need to set specific and challenging goals, and they outlined 3 other characteristics of successful goal setting. Now let's go through the different criterion for the SMART mnemonic. Specific. Goals should be simplistically written and clearly define what you are going to do. The goal should be clear and unambiguous. To make goals specific, they must tell a team exactly what is expected, why it is important, who's involved, where it's going to happen, and which attributes are important. A specific goal will usually answer the 5, quote, W, unquote, questions. What? What do I want to accomplish? Why? Specific reasons, purpose, or benefits of accomplishing the goal. Who? Who is involved? Where? Identify a location. Which? Identify requirements and constraints. Measurable. A goal without a measurable outcome is like a sports competition without a scoreboard or a scorekeeper. Numbers are an essential part of business in general. Put concrete numbers in your goals to know if you are on track. This criterion stresses the need for concrete criteria for measuring progress towards an attainment of the goal. Measuring progress helps a team stay on track, reach its target dates, and experience a sense of achievement that spurs it on to a continued effort required to reach the ultimate goal. A measurable goal will usually answer questions such as, how much? How many? How will I know when it's accomplished? What are the numbers that we are looking for to achieve? What are the expected results? Indicators should be objective and or at least quantifiable. It's okay to use subjective criteria, but they need to be somehow quantifiable and somehow defined. Then it can be a good measure still. Attainable or achievable. This criterion stresses the importance of goals that are realistic and attainable. While an attainable goal may stretch the team in order to achieve it, the goal is not extreme. That is, the goals are neither out of reach nor below standard performance, as these may be considered meaningless. When you identify goals that are most important to you, you begin to figure out ways that you can make them come true. You develop the attitudes, abilities, skills, and financial capacity to reach them. An attainable goal will usually further define the question, how can this goal be accomplished? Relevant. The goals that are aligned with the current tasks and projects and focus in one defined area include the expected result. Achievable business goals are based on the current conditions and reality of the business's climate. The fourth criterion stresses the importance of choosing goals that matter to you and your organization. Relevant goals, when met, drive the team, department, and organization forward. A goal that supports or is in alignment with other goals should be considered a relevant goal. The most relevant goals are supportive of the company's strategic plan and that plan's goals. A relevant goal can answer yes to these questions. Does this seem worthwhile? Yes. Is the time right? Yes. Does this match our other efforts or needs, parentheses, in other words, the strategic plan goals, close parentheses? Yes. Do we understand what results are expected? Yes. Are you the right person, or is this the right team? Yes. Is it applicable in the current political, economic, socio-technical environment, in other words, the PEST environment? Yes. Good. Then these are relevant. Time frame. Goals should be linked to the time frame that creates a practical sense of urgency or results in tension between the current reality and the vision of the goal. Without such tension, the goal is unlikely to produce a relevant outcome. This fifth criterion stresses the importance of grounding goals within a time frame, giving them milestones and a target date. A commitment to a deadline helps the team focus their efforts on completion of the goal on or before the due date. This part of SMART goal criteria is intended to prevent goals from being overtaken by the day-to-day crises that invariably arise in an organization. A time frame goal is intended to establish a sense of urgency. Although some personality types will naturally seek to complete all related tasks quickly and without prompting, many other types need the stated timelines in order to organize their time and keep an appropriate focus. Many goals would be well served by establishing phases and or milestones, that is to say, breaking out activities and their related measures into manageable chunks, while also providing a logical progression. A time frame goal will usually answer the following questions. When? What are the prerequisite tasks? What are the stages or phase targets and milestones? What is the planned project or goal completion date? What can I do 6 weeks from now, 6 months from now? What can I start doing today? The 5 principles of goal setting. To motivate, goals must have clarity, a challenge, a commitment. They must have feedback and task complexity. Clarity. Clear goals are measurable and unambiguous. When a goal is clear and specific with a definite time set for completion, there is less misunderstanding about what behaviors will be rewarded. To improve your team's performance, set clear goals that use specific and measurable standards. Quote, reduce job turnover by 15%, or, quote, respond to an employee's suggestions within 48 hours, unquote, are examples of clear goals. Set a challenge. One of the most important characteristics of goals is the level of challenge. People are often motivated by achievement, and they'll judge a goal based on the significance of the anticipated accomplishment. When you know what you will do will be well received, there's a natural motivation to do a good job. If you believe you'll be well compensated or otherwise rewarded for achieving a challenging goal, that will boost your enthusiasm and your drive to get it done. Note, it is important to strike an appropriate balance between challenging goal and a realistic goal. Setting a goal that you'll fail to achieve is probably more demotivating than setting a goal that's too easy. The need for success and achievement is strong. Therefore, people are best motivated by challenging but realistic goals. Ensuring that goals are achievable or attainable is one of the elements of the SMART mnemonic. Note, setting SMART goals that are relevant links them closely to the rewards given for achieving a challenging goal. Relevant goals will further the aims of your organization, and these are the kind of goals that most employers will be happy to reward. Commitment. Goals must be understood and agreed upon if they are to be effective. Employees are more likely to, quote, buy into, unquote, a goal if they feel that they are part of creating that goal. The notion of participative management rests on this idea of involving employees in setting goals and making decisions. You don't necessarily have to do everything that they say, but you need to respect their opinion and offer an explanation of how their opinion or idea will fit into the bigger plan and the actual actions the company or organization is going to take. One version of SMART, for use when you're working with someone else to set their goals, has an A and R stand for agreed and realistic instead of attainable and relevant. Agreed goals lead to commitment. This doesn't mean that every goal has to be negotiated with and approved by the employees. It does mean that goals should be consistent and in line with previous expectation and organizational concerns. As long as the employee believes the goal is consistent with the goals of the company and believes the person assigning the goal is credible, then the commitment is likely to be there. Interestingly, goal commitment and difficulty often work together. The harder the goal, the more commitment is required. This isn't too hard of a logic to understand, is it? As you use goal setting in your workplace, make an appropriate effort to include people in their own goal setting. Encourage employees to develop their own goals and keep them informed about what's happening elsewhere in the organization. This way, they can be sure that their goals are consistent with the overall vision and the purpose that the company seeks. Number 4, feedback. In addition to selecting the right type of goal, an effective goal program must also include feedback. Feedback provides opportunities to clarify expectations, adjust goal difficulty, and gain recognition. It is important to provide benchmark opportunities or targets so individuals can determine for themselves how they're doing. Regular progress reports, which measure specific success along the way, are particularly important when it's going to take a long time to reach a goal. In these cases, break down the goals into smaller chunks and link feedback to these intermediate milestones. SMART goals are measurable, and this ensures that clear feedback can be provided. Make sure you build in time for providing formal feedback. In order to provide effective feedback, you need to establish relevant and viable performance measurements of the goals-related activities. Task complexity. The last factor in goal setting theory introduces 2 more requirements for success. For goals or assignments that are highly complex, take special care to ensure that the work doesn't become too overwhelming. People who work in complicated and demanding roles probably have a high level of motivation already. However, there is a possibility of, quote, burnout, unquote, or a buildup of enervating frustration if measures aren't built into the goal expectations to account for the complexity of the task. In other words, they need to get credit for the complexity of the task that they are responsible for. It's therefore important to do the following. Give the person sufficient time to meet the goal or improve performance. 2. Provide enough time for the person to practice or learn what is expected and required for success. Of course, this implies directly that you need to provide the proper training and information that they need to do the task assigned. The whole point of goal setting is to facilitate success. This reinforces the, quote, attainable, unquote, part of the SMART mnemonic. Well, those are the key principles. So let's review the key points about SMART goal setting. First, goal setting is something most of us recognize as necessary for our success. People that are involved in goal setting tend to perform better. Lock and Latham's research confirms the usefulness of the SMART goal setting method, and their theory continues to influence the way we measure performance today. You should use clear, challenging goals and commit yourself to achieving them. You need to provide feedback on goal performance. Take into consideration the complexity of the task. If you follow these simple rules, your goal-setting process will be much more successful and your overall performance will improve. Again, setting SMART goals, that is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-framed. An alternative mnemonic includes significant, meaningful, action-oriented, rewarding, and trackable. You can make up your own, but the points should be very similar. If you found this interesting, why don't you write us at info@dyadconsulting.com, that's DIAD consulting.com, or complete our contact form at dyadconsulting.com/contact.html. Why don't you schedule our popular training sessions such as 10 Steps to Time Mastery or the Communications Seminar, 101 Things You Didn't Hear Me Say. If you fill out our contact form or write us, we'll give you 2 hours of free consulting. Dyad Consulting Incorporated. Our mission: increase your profitability and competitive strength. Improve the ease and effectiveness of your operations. 3. Enhance the productivity and job satisfaction of your employees at the same time. Organize chaos into a well-orchestrated system by implementing best quality practices, strategic planning, and enhancing communication. Reduce your stress level and the time required to run your business profitably and effectively so that you can spend more time pursuing the most rewarding aspects in life. And 6, helping you create a sustained balance of personal wellness and business success.